there's so many times that I, like, underestimate, like, the power of friendship. Like, I just don't really, like, realize how important it is because I'm so used to not friendship. I'm so used to, like, I don't know, like, immaturity and, like, people obsessed with themselves or people obsessed with their idealisms or what they think is right or what they think is, like, good for them and what they think is, like, okay, as in, like, running around and being a rebellious little fucking teenager and, like, fucking around and thinking that's okay and, like, not caring about other people and, like, not caring about the people that they hurt. Like, I'm, like, so used to that, like, it's really hard for me, like, it's hard for me to remember, like, real people, like, real, genuine people, because, like, there's only, like, 2 people that I really trust, and that I really know I can trust, and they're homeschooled. So, you know, my exposure to them is not great. So, like, I just have to go to school every day and suffer through normal kids with their normal urges and their, like, righteous, like, anger and their righteous, like, immaturity or whatever, and I just have to suffer through it because, like, that's what's normal for people in my age, and I can't change that. So I'm used to that, but, like, it really, like, there's something in me that, like, wants, like, a genuine friend that I can, like, confide in and be with more than just, like, once a month or, like, whenever I can see them, because I love my best friends that are homeschooled. Like, don't get me wrong, I adore them. I adore their families, I adore them themselves, but at the same time, it's like we're in 2 different worlds because they're homeschooled. They don't understand the same struggles that I go through. The both of them are incredibly sheltered, and, like, they love me and I love them, but, like, we don't really understand each other to the fullest extent, which is fine. Like, you can still love someone and not completely understand everything about them, but I also, like, wish that we could understand certain things about each other, and I also wish that, like, we could be around each other more, because we're, like, we hardly ever see each other because of how far away we live. And, like, how busy they are and how busy I am, and, like, how our lives, like, just do not collide at all unless we force it. And it's just really frustrating because, like, I love them and, like, I want to be around them. Like, I want to be more involved in their lives and I want them to be more involved in my life. But, like, it's so easy to, like, forget that I, like, can, because, like, we're so far apart, you know. Like, it's just really frustrating because they're the only people that I truly trust and, like, love wholeheartedly, and even though, like, we don't really understand each other all the way, like, it's, like, they're the only people that I really trust. Other than my uncle, because my dad, I can't trust my dad, and my mom, I can't trust him either. Like, I love them, but I can't trust them. And so it's really difficult. And even my uncle I don't fully trust because, like, he, like, doesn't want to be here. Like, he hates California. Like, he wants his own life, which I get and I understand, but, like, it also kind of creates a rift between us. And then another rift between, like, I don't know, like, there are only, let's see, grandma, mom, my dad, my uncle, best friends. 7 people that I actually really love and trust. At least somewhat. Like, these are people that I think I love unconditionally and that I, like, fully trust. Well, not. I don't fully trust anybody, to be honest. But those are the people that I trust and love the most, I feel like. And, like, 2 of them are incredibly distant from me. And then 2 of them, like, are physically distant from me. And I can't help that. Which is really hard because, like, I can't, like, reach out to them. Sometimes it feels like because we're both, like, all 3 of us are so busy all the time. Like, my best friends and I. And, like, I feel like we're all kind of forgetful, so we, like, forget to contact each other. And then with my dad, we've already talked about him. He's not, like, emotionally there or, like, able to, like, really help me until he grows himself, but he's not going to grow up. It's kind of come to that, which is really sad, but, like, it's the truth. Like, I really want him to, but, like, he's just not going to. And my mom, I really wish I could trust and love my mom and be close to my mom, like a normal parent, like, relationship, but, like, again, can't because she's not ready, like, and we probably will never have, like, a really close relationship where I can really depend on her, because, like, we both, like, just, I don't know if we can do that. And my uncle, I really want to, like, depend on, and I really want to, like, trust and love, and I do to some extent, but then also at the same time, like, I get the very distinct feeling that he's, like, running away, and, like, he just wants to escape. And, like, the minute that grandma's in a sturdy place and I'm in college or, like, I'm living on my own, he's just gonna be gone, and, like, it's gonna be, like, really hard to contact or reach him, and, like, it's kind of sad, but it's, like, what I have come to, like, realize about him. He doesn't stay in one place for very long, and he certainly will not stay in California very long because he hates the weather here. So that leaves me. And, like, it's really hard because, like, I feel like there's not a lot of people that I can, like, really, like, talk to or confide in. Because, like, I have a lot of acquaintances and even friends, I feel like, but they're all kind of, like, purely school friends and, like, purely, like, professional, like, and even then some of them are, like, really, like, distant because, like, they, like, are just used to being distant and don't, like, I don't know, people are just so selfish, and they just, like, I don't, like, trust people at school, like, I just really don't. Until they prove something to me, and not a lot of people have proven anything. So, yeah, it's kind of sad, but it's true. I don't know, maybe I'm, like, a tough critic. And there are some people that I feel like I could have been, like, really close friends with, but, like, again, they also were caught up in the whole, like, social status thing and, like, being around people, and I'm not that way, and I knew that, like, even if I did get close to those people, like, there would always be something separating us because, like, they would always be wanting to, like, hang out with people, and I just am not that way. Like, I'm not a very, like, sociable person. Like, I'm not a big, like, fan of, like, just hanging out with people, just to hang out with people, you know? And so, like, I just distance myself from people even though I think that I could be close to them because, like, I know that, like, it probably wouldn't end well anyways. Hold on. But, today, I was kind of proven wrong because there's this group of girls that I sit with during ceramics, which is my 4th period, and like usually we have like a pretty good time, and like we could just casually like mess around and like have fun. And there's 4 of us. There's these 2 girls who they're both pretty extroverted, I would say, and like, but they're still like fun, like, you know, like they're just really nice people and I like them, but they are pretty like conversation oriented, like they talk a lot, and they like, I don't know, like they're just kind of like conversation starter people, you know what I mean? And there's this other girl and me, and we're both kind of like shyer and quieter, and we have like softer voices, so like we'll pitch in conversations, but like usually we don't like start a conversation, and we don't like really like keep a conversation going. We just kind of like pitch in occasionally and like are listening, but like we don't always talk. And today the 2 really like cool extroverted girls were absent. One of them was sick, and one of them was buying a passport for like the Bahamas or something. I don't know. It sounds made up, but like it's the honest God truth. Like even the teacher told us, which was kind of weird, but like whatever. And then so like this girl and I, who are both really shy and like not really like big conversationalists, usually like we both kind of were like just doing our work quietly and like occasionally talking, and then we ended up talking about like reading and like and then from reading we got onto the topic of like dysfunctional families, and like I really kind of opened up to her a little bit. Like I didn't tell her everything, obviously, but like I did open up about like how like because she was complaining about her dad and how like he can be really annoying sometimes, and I was like, yeah, I know, like my dad too, like he's just like very like he's not very emotionally like there for me, like he's just very like active, like he's always like wants to be in control and wants to like do things, not think about things, and like has no like care at all about anybody else. And then I was talking about how like he and my uncle don't get along because while he's a very act first think later kind of person, and my uncle is kind of like me, he overthinks everything and overanalyzes things before he does them. And I also got onto the topic of like my grandma who has like dementia, and like it's kind of really difficult living with her, and like I think the reason that I opened up to her so much was because like when I was telling her about my grandma, she was like, wow, like that must be really hard, I'm like really sorry for you, but like it just is really like admirable how like strong you are to be living with her like that. And she just like seemed so genuine, not like pity, or like she wasn't like being like, oh yeah, like my grandma like is going through this too, or like I'm going through this too, like comparing, like, cause some people like when you tell them like your misfortunes in life, they kind of like want to like one up you almost, or like or sometimes they're like awkward about it and like don't want to talk about anything negative and like just like avoid the conversation altogether. Or even worse, sometimes people pity you and like they just like have this like insecure, like, I mean, what's the word I'm looking for, like not authentic like reaction of like pity, and they're just kind of like, oh, I'm so sorry, but like it's not genuine, and it's kind of like it doesn't feel right, you know, like it's just weird. But like she genuinely, like you could tell that like she had gained like a new level of respect for me because of what I go through with my grandma, and like you could just tell that like she cared, and like that to me was like eye-opening, because like not a lot of people are like that, because like most people are just kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks, I'm sorry, like they don't have the emotional maturity to know like just how hard it is. And she understood like instantly the minute I told her, and she was like very compassionate and not pitying about it, and like she was just like incredibly like sweet and like nice about it. And I was just like just, it felt like incredible just to like have somebody's like genuine compassion and like care instead of like forced pity or like awkward avoidance, like, you know what I mean? And like it just meant a lot to me that she cared. And then we ended up talking, and she was telling me about how like her dad and her like don't get along because like he's kind of a lot similar to my dad. And like she just talked about how like he's just so like inconsiderate and he doesn't care about anyone but himself. And I was like, literally, are you talking about my father? Because they sound like fucking twins. And or like clones of each other, because my dad already has a twin. And like it was just like, I just felt like we really bonded, and like we really like understood each other, and we didn't like pity each other, we didn't try one up each other and like our pain. Like we were just kind of like understanding that like people go through shit and it's fucked up, but like understand that like we're strong to be going through what we go through. We're not like weak little victims that need your pity or your sympathy. Like we don't want that. Like we just want like genuine care, not pity. And that's what she gave me, and that's what I gave her, and like we just kind of bonded over that, and like it was just really cool. Like I almost like want her number and be like, hey girl, like like I want to hit you up or something, because like she just like, she's just really cool. Like it was just really cool to connect with her that way, because I never would have like imagined that I would be able to, because like we're both kind of shy and reserved, so I thought like the whole time during ceramics today we'd both kind of be like really awkward, not really talking to each other, but then we ended up actually talking to each other and actually like really connecting, and it was just really cool. She's actually a lot like me. We both really like reading, and we're both pretty like introverted and like only trust people that are really close to us, and like it's really hard for us to like talk to people that open up. And we also really hate like our school. Like, well, we don't hate our school, we just hate the people at our school. Like 95% of the people at our school we both hate, and I'm just like, hey girl, like yes, you get me, because like I don't like hate them because of their personalities. Like I just hate, like, it's really hard to explain. Like, I don't hate them, like, personally. Like, I don't hate them, like, personally. Like, I don't have, like, a vendetta against anyone in particular. I just don't like how many people are at school. I don't like how immature people are at school. And I don't like how many people conform and try and fit in to any little place or thing that they can, even though it literally changes them, and it like they sacrifice so much just to fit in, and it just makes no sense to me, because like well, I mean, I guess it does make sense to me, because like for the longest time when I was a kid, I would lie all the time to get out of things, and like I would lie to cover up and like try and fit in and like be what I considered normal. But like it came to the point where I was just like fed up. Like it came to the point where I was like, it's okay to be yourself, because yourself is like who you are. Like you don't need to hide who you are for other people, because like in the end that's not gonna solve anything. Like that's not gonna help anyone. If anything, it's gonna like hurt you and like hurt others around you. So like why even do it? And like, so right, like now I know that, and now like I'm just like, I don't like that, because like they just remind me of like how I used to be, and I kind of like hate how I used to be, so in turn I hate them. But like I don't hate them per se, I just like hate what they're doing, because they're not being themselves. They're like conforming to stupid cliques and like conforming to like what society tells them that they should be, based off of their appearance or based off of what they're born with, like their like families, like wealth, or their like whatever. Like it's still ridiculous how much society and like social status like still affects us today, even though it's 2018 and we don't live in the 1900s anymore. But like, that's how life is. And it's so frustrating. But I also just have social anxiety, so I don't like massive amounts of people, and there are always massive amounts of people at school. So I've become accustomed to like ignoring people and like just trying to like survive another school day. And today taught me that like expect the unexpected, because sometimes the unexpected is pretty fucking phenomenal, because like that's what happened today. And like it was pretty great. Like I really enjoyed like connecting with the other shy girl at the table, and like I don't know, like I just felt connected with her, and like it was really cool. I think I might like ask for her number or something and be like, hey, you know, hit me up, sweetie. Like kidding. I don't have a crush on her or anything. I like purely see her as a friend, but like it still would be cool to have her number, because like I just feel like she could be a really cool like friend, you know, who wouldn't like, who would like, I would be able to talk to, and like she would be able to understand me and I would be able to understand her, and like really get close to each other. But then also we both have like pretty major trust issues, I feel like. So like it might end badly, but like I'm kind of willing to go to that risk for her, because like I don't know, she just seems worth it, and like she seems really cool, and I really like her. So like I want to try. I'm gonna ask her on Monday and be like, hey girl, do you have a number? Like come give it to me. Like or I might just like offer her my number and be like, hey, I don't know, like you seem like a pretty cool girl, like can we trade numbers just so I can like text you occasionally or something? Like I don't know, like you just She might say no, and I'd be like awkward. Because like pretty much everybody knows that I'm like pansexual or like gay, so like, cause like I just make way too many innuendos, and like I don't hide when I'm checking out a girl, you know, like I'm kind of like, god damn, she cute, and like people are just like hey, cause like, you know, I just can't keep it in my pants, cause like literally fucking 5 years old. So god, this hair, like the way it just it's really annoying. Anyways, so yeah, she might think I'm like flirting with her or something, but I don't think she will, because like I'm not flirting with her. Like I'm just like, I just think that she would be a really cool friend to have. I'm gonna ask for her number, but like I don't know if she's gonna say yes, because like if she says no, I'm gonna be like, fuck, this is awkward. But like, you know, it's fine. It just seems really cool. I'm gonna go now, because like, you know, pretty much talked about what I wanted to talk about, which wasn't much actually. Literally like had one good interaction with a human being and was like, oh my god, my day is made. It's pretty sad actually. Ow. Yeah, but I want to continue reading my books, because I'm reading this really good, I mean good is a stretch. It's an okay book series. Yeah, it's okay. Like, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. And it's, like, tolerable. It has pretty boring moments, though. Like, really, really boring moments. Like, really, really boring moments. Like, just kill me now. They're so boring. But, like, other times, like, the book just, like, makes me laugh so much that I'm literally, like, crying tears of laughter. And other times, like, I'm crying tears of sadness. But, like, the majority of the book, kind of low-key average, kind of low-key really boring. But, like, there are certain really good parts, so, like, it's kind of worth it. But, like, also really boring. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's so boring. Like, 60% of the book is boring. And then the, like, other 40% is, like, I'm really okay. But, like, not the greatest, you know? Like, it's not perfect, but it's also, like, not horrible. Anyways, I'm gonna go now, because, like, you know, talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Look how, like, white my neck is to, like, my face. Because, like, my face has, like, freckles and it's kind of, like, ruddy. And then, like, my neck and, like, my chest area is just, like, hello, white girl. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's being weird because, like, that's what I do. Yeah, okay, goodbye.